Hello and welcome to the almajir.net vlog. My name is Daniel and I run the almajir.net and Often Partisan websites. I started this vlog to make it easier for Birmingham City fans to understand the ownership of the football club and the benefits and issues that come with that ownership. The first episode of this vlog is going to concentrate on just who owns the football club, what the reasons for owning it might be, and where the money they put into the club comes from. Don't forget, you can subscribe to this vlog by clicking the subscribe button. If you tap the bell, you'll get notifications when I upload a new episode. So let's get to it. Question one, just who owns Birmingham City FC? Now, the easiest way to think about it is to think about it like a family tree. So at the bottom, you've got the football club, Birmingham City FC, which is a company registered in England and Wales. Above Birmingham City FC, you've got what's called the UK parent, Birmingham City PLC. Now, this is the company that David Sullivan and the Gold brothers used to run the club when they owned it, and it was formerly listed on the alternative investment market of the London Stock Exchange. Birmingham City PLC owns Birmingham City Football Club 100%. So above BC PLC, you've got the Hong Kong parent. Now, this is Birmingham Sports Holdings, which is a listed company on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And this is how Carson Young bought Birmingham City Football Club. Birmingham Sports Holdings owns 96.64% of Birmingham City PLC. There are a few shares that aren't owned by BSH in the hands of ordinary fans. They're not worthless, but they're not actually worth much either. There's not much you can do with them. The people we think of as the owners of Birmingham City Football Club are actually shareholders in Birmingham Sports Holdings. Now, Birmingham Sports Holdings is a publicly listed company on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and shares are freely traded. The largest shareholder in Birmingham Sports Holdings is a company called Trillion Trophy Asia, who are an investment vehicle registered in the British Virgin Islands. Trillion Trophy Asia is owned by Paulson Cho Hung, and he owns it completely, 100%. And Trillion Trophy Asia own about 30.6% of Birmingham Sports Holdings. So in turn, they own about 30.6% of the football club. The second largest shareholder of Birmingham Sports Holdings is a company called Ivery. Now, Ivery is also an investment vehicle, which is also based in the British Virgin Islands, and is 100% controlled by a Chinese-born Cambodian citizen by the name of Vong Pic. Ivery owns just over a quarter of Birmingham Sports Holdings, about 25.6%. The third largest shareholder in Birmingham Sports Holdings is a company called Dragon Villa. Yuck. Dragon Villa is also an investment vehicle based in the British Virgin Islands and is controlled by a Chinese national by the name of Lei Sutong. Dragon Villa owns about 18.6% of Birmingham Sports Holdings. So Paul Sun, everybody knows that name, everybody knows Trillion Trophy Asia, that's who everyone thinks about as the owner of the football club. The other two are a bit more mysterious, and through research I've done for the almajir.net blog, I've linked them both to an elusive figure known as Mr. King, or by his real Chinese name, Wang Yaohui. So question two, what do these guys want from BCFC? Well, with Paul Sun, it's quite easy to understand. We only have to look into his history to understand his modus operandi. And his history is buying companies on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange which are distressed, and then fixing them and selling them on for a profit, which is perfectly fine. When Paul Sun got involved with Birmingham Sports Holdings, I think it's safe to say the company was in a mess. And I think it's easy, I think therefore we can infer that he wants to sell it on for a profit. Now, that bit's not happened yet, and I'm not 100% for the reason why. I do believe that there might be something to do with the stock exchange imposing conditions on Paul Sun before he could divest his interests in it, and those conditions might not have been met yet. Understanding Mr. King is a little bit harder. The reason it's a little bit harder is because we don't know so much about him. What the research I've done for almajir.net has shown is that he's in effective exile from China after a bribes to loan scandal that saw a banker jail for 15 years. So he's not been back to China since 2013. But we do know he's invested in projects in Vietnam, in Australia, in Singapore, and in the UK as well. Because of this, I actually think Mr. King's involved with Birmingham City Football Club. It's kind of an ego thing. I know that he lives in London with his wife and his 2 kids. I know that he's been to games. It might just be exciting for him to go and watch a football team that he knows he owns, even if he can't say it. And I'm fairly sure that what he wants is the club to be in the Premier League and to be successful so he can bask in the reflected glory. So question 3, where does the money come from? This is the big question, and this is the big problem. To understand where the money comes into Birmingham Sports Holdings, we have to look at the announcements made to shareholders by BSH, which are public domain documents. So it's freely available, you can look at them online. And looking through accounts and announcements, you can see that the main thing that Birmingham Sports Holdings has used to bring in money has been loans from third-party companies. Some of these we know. Paul Shun's put money in. Dragon Villa put in a load of money and then got repaid in shares in Birmingham Sports Holdings. That's why they're the 3rd largest shareholder. And that's all well and good. On the other hand, however, there have been loans from third-party companies that we just don't know who they are. And therein lies the problem, because Birmingham Sports Holdings is about as leveraged as it's going to get, owes a lot of money to people we just don't know who they are, and when they want it back. In turn, from the club accounts, we know that the club owes Birmingham Sports Holdings just under £100 million. How that's going to be repaid, when that's going to be repaid, if that's going to be repaid, well, those are the questions realistically that are going to decide Birmingham City Football Club's fate for the next few years. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about why the club is so hard to sell, whether the owners actually want to sell it at all, and how much it would cost if it was available to sell. Now, if you want to keep in touch and you want to be notified when the next video comes online, please click subscribe, please click the bell. And until next time, keep right on.